So Marlena Field is here with me today. I just, even just seeing you on the screen is like a breath of fresh air for me, I have to say. Um, I have studied with you. I have learned from you. I have feel so connected to you, and I am so grateful that you said yes to being here to share what it is that you share naturally with people that I'm connected to. You're one of these gemstones that I've come across in my life, and I just feel that you have so much presence that you bring to everything that I have ever seen you do, and that is a big deal for me. It's been a great honor to be in your presence.
Thank you.
Yeah. So really, the day-to-day, day four, that is really nurturing the heart, and that is the piece that I think is a really at the center of a lot of it, literally and figuratively, of taking care of ourselves. And so you were definitely the one that came to mind in that area. So I wanted to get a sense of really your experience, just as a way of being able to support other people who are, really trying to put self-nurture, bump that up their list and make themselves a priority. And of course, the things that we face when we come to that place can be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. With your, body-centered coaching, that organization of yours, really spreading out and helping other people to get in touch with themselves, and to really hold that space for other people, has been a really great way for me to get in touch with my heart. And it really did make me think more about putting self-nurture first. So I'll ask you if, for you, if there was a catalyst of making that decision to kind of put self-care at the top of your list. Has that been your experience?
Yeah. Well, I've been in the personal growth arena for a long time for myself personally and through my work. And I want to give an example that's really current. So in the last 5 months, because I like to talk about what's current and what's new, and I get kind of excited about that. So in the springtime, I went to a science and spirituality workshop, and Joe Dispenza was there and Greg Braden were there, and I followed them for decades. So yeah. They came to the province, I had to go. And so the catalyst for me in my latest self-nurture that I'm going to share with people has to do with listening to Joe Dispenza talk about change your brain, change your mind, change your life. And you do it through the heart. So I got kind of inspired to begin to follow the path where he was leading. And so the catalyst was really inspiration. I just went, I want that, and I'm going to check it out, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to find out. So he was very inspiring, and it was all about possibilities and looking at the future and all that kind of thing. And he just said, basically, that you can change your life by beginning to be more mindful of your habits. So our habits sometimes start in utero, sometimes we have them by the time we're 4, and they're kind of like ingrained habits that make me feel like that's my familiar self. So my familiar self is to have a judgment about that. My familiar self is to not like that. My familiar self is to, all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. And so what he was promising is that you can kind of up level your internal experience. And so I was really inspired to get his morning and evening meditations. So so there's 25 minutes in the morning, 25 minutes at night, and I became committed to doing this program because I wanted what he was offering. And yeah, so that was the catalyst. It's kind of like, inspiration was the catalyst, really. Yeah, yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have quite a lot of tools in that area. I know a little bit about that, not a lot, but you've shared it, within the training, becoming a coach with you and your methodology. So I thought, I know, like I thought about myself and the hurdles that I had coming into this sense, wanting to really put, for me, self-nurture right at the top of the list. Like it really had to go to the top. And I know I faced a lot of hurdles. So do you have a sense that that was something that you faced?
Oh, absolutely. Because committing to having to do, wanting to do first thing in the morning and at night. So it wasn't my natural habit to make that a meditation time.
Yeah.
So the hurdle was to change my habits, begin to change my routine, because he made a big deal about it being first thing in the morning and last thing at night.
Right.
And so the hurdle was to not let my mind interfere with, oh, wouldn't you rather have coffee first and, sit with your partner and look at the lake? And, it's just like, and so the hurdle was to not listen to my mind, which had all kinds of reasons why I shouldn't. Oh, you have to work early, therefore, all the excuses, right?
Right.
So those are always hurdles. And so how I got over those hurdles was I would check in with my heart. And so I'm going to be talking about that in a little while, about how to check in with your heart. So I would check in my heart, and my heart knows the truth that I feel better when I'm doing it. I'm happier when I'm doing it. And my heart knows that that's a really good thing for me. So I wouldn't let myself off the hook very easily.
Yeah.
Having said that, I mean, there were times that I just went, I'm not like, and so I didn't beat myself up. I was gentle with myself, but there were very few times when I chose, and it's always a choice, when I chose not to do it for this reason.
Yes.
And so I wouldn't, but I would be self-loving and heartful in the choice not to. And I think it's really important when someone's trying to instigate a new habit or a new pattern that, you miss a day or something gets in the way, not to beat yourself up about it. Like, it's just not right. It's just kind of like, be gentle with yourself and get back on the horse,
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a really kind way to be with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because it's not about, doing more and taking more on in terms of responsibility or anything. I really, these practices are a way of like tuning in to what's going on within. That's less of a doing and more of a being.
Yeah, and not making yourself wrong for being, a human.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, that's a great insight into, really the habitual nature, because I think that is where the power is in the present moment, and when the habitual nature is showing up. It's, you have to be with it because it's there.
Yeah.
And we can also add something in that's really a conscious decision. So I love that you brought that up. So I was thinking about if there was any support that you felt like that you needed when you went about making a new change to a habit, this one or any other habits.
So the support was, my heart was my support. And I involved my new partner in the support of, this is what my heart wants to do. This is what I really want to do. Please support me by not trying to interfere with me slipping out of bed in the morning, or doing it before coffee when he's ready to have coffee with me, and just getting the buy-in from my partner to say, yeah, I will support you in this. And now not all partners will do that. And if he hadn't, you know what? I would have done it anyway. I mean, it was kind of like non-negotiable, you know.
Yeah.
So it was non-negotiable, but it's nicer if you get some kind of support or buy-in.
Yeah.
I didn't have an outside support team or anything. I didn't need it on this one. I was too wired up.
Yeah, right. Ready for it. Yeah, there are certain ones that you can just feel ready for. I that these new practices of self-care.
Yeah.
So I'm also thinking about the payoffs of certain habits, and I'm really interested actually in hearing about what the payoff has been for this particular habit. You've been doing it for a while now, it sounds like?
5 months.
5 months, okay. Wow, that's big commitment. What a dedication.
Yeah.
Your heart.
Yeah, so I am a different person internally. And that sounds like really kind of way out there kind of statement. But it's true. And we only ever know what our internal environment is for real, right? And so I'm really good at telling myself the truth and not waving a wand or being Pollyanna or, you know, any of that kind of thing. I don't do that piece. And if I do, I catch myself really fast.
Right.
So the payoff is I am different. I have a different internal climate than I had 5 months ago. And I'll share with you what happens on the morning meditation. Joe, there's a meditative part and there's a reflective part. So the reflective part is what are you inviting into your future? And just being with the intention of inviting something into your future, and he does that. And then he does this segment called, and who do you not want to be today? Who is it that you want to not become today? What actions do you not want to take today? And so he's got these really profound questions of me. So my sister was here visiting, so in the morning. So what was my intention for that day? So my intention was not to be judgmental of her, not to make her wrong, because she gets made wrong really easily sometimes.
Yeah.
And to be gentle with that. And so I would think about how I wanted to be a little bit different, and how I wanted to behave, and then he would go back to what intention are you bringing forward. Then in the evening, I love this question. Every evening, every evening, he would say, "So, how'd it go? How did you fall from grace today?" And I want you to know that most days I fell from grace on some level. Like I let my emotions carry me away, or I let a judgment come in and I thought about it for a few minutes instead of just parking it. I became really conscious of my internal habits. And the payoff is my habits have changed. Like so as an example, driving down the road, my partner will complain about the Salt Spring drivers and this and that, and the road stuff, right? And I used to kind of get judgmental or irritated. I'd get contracted and he does it all the time, right? So he's a great guy. It's just that's the example. So what happened was, as I had the intention of not allowing my body to contract, not allowing judgment to come in.
Yeah.
You know what? He's still the same. He does it all the time. You know what? I check in. My body is neutral. I'm calm. I'm relaxed. I got nothing going on. And this is true. Like it's just not there anymore. Yeah. And so the payoff is now I'm different. And so my life is happier. My life is easier because I'm not stuck in a habit that I developed somewhere along the way.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's amazing. Totally
yeah.
amazing.
No, truly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
those moments, that's the little things.
Yeah. Yeah.
The 100 Little Things. I've been watching that show.
So many.
Yeah.
So I had no idea how many. I have lots, and I'm chipping away at them as we go.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like it's made more space for that, the peace or that centered way that you prefer to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has changed. It has changed our relationship
That's huge.
because energetically, the other person picks up on things, whether they know it or not. Energetically, if you send out a vibe, the other person gets it, whether they know they get it or not, they get it on some level.
That's
and
right.
It's really shifted. It's shifted our relationship.
Wow. Wonderful. I'm really excited about this tool now. So, yeah, I'm just thinking now, if there is someone here listening in to hear you talk about these changes, and maybe struggling with this, bringing in new habits or a new way of being into their own life, or creating space in this way, is there something that you would share with them from that place of, hey, yeah, I've done this, and this is my this is the gem that I've got, or this is the takeaway that you've gotten from.
Right. So one, for me, it was checking into my heart and paying attention to what my heart and soul really wanted. And I'm going to be leading a heart-brain coherence, heart-brain harmony exercise. And at the end of that exercise, I'm going to ask a question, or lead your audience into having their hand on their heart and asking, my heart, what do you need from me now? Now, some of your audience will get an answer today. Other ones may need to practice the heart-brain harmony in order to begin to listen from that place. But my idea is that we all have an answer to that question about what might be, and it's not about, oh dear, what's keeping me stuck. It's more about, let's go to the heart and ask the heart what it needs, what it wants. Listen to the answer, and then begin to build on that. So that would be my answer to that question, because I don't know what anyone else's answer is, but they know, their heart knows what their answer is. Yeah. So
yeah, that's the truth.
Something to look forward to in the next few minutes.
For sure. Absolutely. So, okay, yeah, I'm going to maybe get a little details on setup from you about how people might want to, what they might want to get ready or prep up for this experience with you.
Okay.
It sounds like it may go for 20 minutes. Is that your feeling?
I will be, from the time I start talking to the time it's over, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce it and let everybody know everything that's going to happen.
Great.
So that when it's time to close their eyes, they can relax and they just know what's going to happen. There's going to be no surprises.
Yeah.
And they just kind of let whatever is going to happen. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's in terms of yeah, I'll leave it there, and then I'm going to stop the recording now, which I'll edit it, from here to bring us back to the end of what we just said. But I'm going to stop the recording and then re-record